Welcome back to Awesome Possum Hobbies and Games. I'm Chris, and today we got another mail day. Latest TCG player, and let's check them out. So I got my TCG player non-direct order. A lot of cards. Let's go ahead and see what's in these fine envelopes from these great retailers. Let's go. So here we go. Here's my latest order from non-direct TCG player. I only had a couple of instances where the card did not come with packing slip, which I find packing slips to be very nice. I know I sound like a broken record for the people who have watched before, but packing slips are a big deal to me just because I order so many cards that are duplicates, sometimes from different sellers, sometimes they're not from different sellers, and it really drives me bonkers when I'm like, well, who's this from? It has some guy's name written on the outside of it. It doesn't have a company name. That doesn't work for me. So, hey guys, TCG player, non-direct, you guys do better. So, first card out of the pile is the Flux. It's a red card, 2 red, 2 colorless, and it's a saga with 6 chapters. Yes, chapter 1, when it enters the battlefield, it deals 4 damage to target creature an opponent controls, which is great. You know, to do 4 damage is great. But then the following turns, 2 through 5, you get to exile a top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. Great for Exile Matters deck. And then for turn 6, you get 6 red mana. Wow. If you actually have that, make it that 6 turns later, you know, this card just gets better and better and better. You know, the more you use it, I've had good luck. The only reason why I don't like it is enchantment in red. That sounds kind of weird, but I'm a big believer in using sorcerers and instances in red, because sorcerers and instances in red you're able to copy, you're able to do all kinds of fun stuff with, while enchantments, you know, it is what it is. You read the card, you don't get to do any forks, you don't get to do anything like that. Fun. So next one's Welcoming Vampire. This is from one of the newer sets. This one though is from the Lost City of Ixalan commander set. One white, 2 colorless, 2/3 creature vampire flying. Whenever one or more other creatures enter the battlefield with power 2 or less under your control, you get to draw a card. This ability only triggers once a turn, but you know, you able to draw extra cards anytime that you play a creature is always nice. Next card is Prime Speaker of Zegana. 2 blue, 2 green, 2 colorless, 1/1 legendary creature, merfolk wizard. Wow, it's a lot for 1/1. Wait, there's more. Prime Speaker Zegana enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters, where X is the greatest power among other creatures you control. When Prime Speaker Zegana enters the battlefield, draw cards equal to its power. So, man, if you're playing in that merfolk deck, being able to draw some extra cards is always good. Damn, I can't have enough copies of this card. Black, white commander decks love this card. For 2 black, you get to destroy target creature. Destroyed this way can't be regenerated. Great, but even better, if you pay the overload cost instead, you get to destroy all creatures. And they can't be regenerated, so it's like a Wrath of God. Next one is enchantment. You've seen these cards before if you've seen my channel. I wanted a full art version. It only cost me like $1 something, so it was a great deal. So 2 red, 2 colorless enchantment. When a Court of Embereth enters the battlefield, you become the monarch. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a 3/1 knight creature token. Then, if you're the monarch, Court of Embereth deals X damage to each opponent, where X is the number of creatures you control. Can't wait to make some creatures. Adriana, Captain of the Guard. 1 white, 1 red, 3 colorless, 4/4 melee. When this creature attacks, it gets +1/+1 till end of turn for each opponent you attack in this combat. Other creatures you control have melee. The Grey Havens. This is the full art version. I have this one. I actually bought this specifically for my Eldrazi deck, because when it enters the battlefield, you can scry 1, and it could tap to produce a colorless mana, or you could tap, add 1 mana of any color among legendary creatures cards in your graveyard. I don't care about the last ability for my Eldrazi deck. I just don't. It's just cool that way. Next one is Writ of Return. 2 black, 3 colorless. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Then you get Cipher. Yeah. Insurrection. Look at this card. This card's nuts. 3 red, 5 colorless. Yeah, costs a lot. Untap all creatures. You gain control of them until end of turn. They gain haste. Yep. Costs a lot, but pretty much says you play this card at end of the game to win the game. Gallifrey Council Chamber. I got this for my one of my Doctor's deck I'm working on. Legendary land. When it enters a battlefield, you get Surveil 1. Taps to reduce a colorless mana, or it taps to reduce 1 of mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast a Time Lord or Alien spell, or activate an ability that have a Time Lord or Alien. So, yeah, I want to work on my Time Lord deck for the wibbly wobbly future. Next one is another full border Arcane Signet. I can't have too many of those. I think that's number 4 for me. I love that card. It's so good. Hexplate Wellbreaker, 2 red, 3 colorless. Artifact equipment for Mirrodin. So when it comes into play, you get to put a create a 2/2 red rebel token, and then it gets equipped, and you equip it. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 whenever equipped creature attacks. If this first combat phase of the turn, untap it for each untap each attacking creature. After this attack phase, there's an additional attack phase, and then you can equip it if the Mirrodin token goes away for 1 red and 3 colors to another creature. Surgefoil Canopy Vista. Yes, it's a forest, it's a plains, and it enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands. Green-white deck's gonna love it. I love the look of the full border land, and then on top of that, it's a foil. And the cool thing about it is it's not too pringly. It's a little, but it's not too bad. Not compared to some of the other cards I have open recently. Malkinator Purity Overseer, 1 blue, 1 white, 1 colorless, and this is one of those fancy Phyrexian foils. Legendary creature Phyrexian Elephant Wizard, 1/1. When it enters the battlefield, create a 3/3 Phyrexian artifact creature token at the beginning of your end step. If there are 3 or more artifacts enter the battlefield under your control this turn, create a 3/3 artifact creature token. Man, it is slick stuff. You know, I think it's called the Phyrexian Slick version because it is got a slick coating. Fun little card. Shimmering Dragon. 2 blue, 4 colorless creature dragon as a 5/6 flyer. As long as you control 4 or more artifacts, Shimmering Dragon hexproof. Tap to untap artifacts you control to draw a card. I don't know where I'm going to put that. I think I might put that in an artifact deck. I might put it in a blue deck. I have no idea. The possibilities are endless with that card. Core Spirit Dancer. I know what deck I'm putting this one in, though. For 1 white, 1 colorless, 0/2 Core Wizard. Yeah, it's a 0/2. You get +2/+2 for each aura attached to it. Whenever you cast an aura spell, you get to draw a card. Fun. Wrathful Raptors, 1 red, 4 colorless. Trample. Whenever a dinosaur you control is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to any target that isn't a dinosaur. It's a 5/5. And then Zaktal Yak, the Smiling Flood, 1 blue, 1 green, 4 colorless. Legendary creature Salamander Serpent. When it enters the battlefield, the Smiling Flood, or if it attacks, put a flood counter on target land. That land is an island in addition to other types, for as long as it has a flood counter on it. At the beginning of your end step, untap each permanent you control with a counter on it. So this is going to be in my Atraxa deck because it's all about counters matter. Thousand Moon Smithy, full art, 2 white, 2 colorless legendary artifact. When Thousand Moon Smithy enters the battlefield, create a white gnome soldier artifact creature token with this creature's power and toughness are equal to the number of artifacts and or creatures you control. Fun. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, you may tap 5 untapped artifacts and or creatures you control. If you do, you transform them. Let's look at the transform side. Becomes a Barracks of the Thousand. This card's nuts. Legendary artifact land. You pay a white. It taps to produce a white, and you cast an artifact or creature spell that, using mana produced by the Barracks of the Thousand, creates a white gnome soldier artifact creature token with this this creature's power and toughness are equal to the number of artifacts and or creatures you control. Gets out of control real fast. Glissa Herald of Predation. About 3 of them. I need them for for a standard deck for one. I also need them for a non-standard deck for Commander because it goes well in a lot of different decks. You know, for 1 green, 1 black, 3 colorless, it's a 3/5 legendary creature, Phyrexian Zombie Elf. At the beginning of your combat on your turn, choose one. You get to incubate twice. Incubate 2 twice. I'm sorry. So you get to have 2 incubate 2 tokens. And then you can pay 2 to transform it into 2/2 creatures. Transform all incubation tokens you control, or Phyrexians you control gain first strike and death touch till end of turn. Man, talk about going wide. The longer this card's in play, the more bonkers your real estate's going to be. I had to buy a couple because they are 3 of them because they're cheap. Here's a card I shouldn't have I bought because I just recently bought one for my Eldrazi deck, Dr. Steel Monolith, for 8. It's an artifact indestructible. Once for each turn, you may pay 0 rather than pay the mana cost of a colorless spell from your hand. Yeah, I need to trade that now. Next card, Carpet of Flowers, foil from the Doctor Who set, enchantment. At the beginning of each of your main phases, if you haven't added mana with this ability this turn, you may add X mana of any one color where X is the number of islands target opponent controls. Yeah, let's punish people for playing blue. Next one, I got 2 of them. One's going to go in my Eldrazi deck. Another one is, I need to get a couple more in addition to this one for a standard deck. Jamil, the Inner Sun, a legendary artifact for 6. Colorless mana. Spells you control can't be countered. At the beginning of your end step, you get to discover 5. Discovering is exile cards from the top of your library until you've exiled a non-land card with mana value 5 or less. Cast it without paying its mana cost or put into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your in a random order. Yeah, I got a couple of foilies. And then my favorite card I ordered in this last order was Secret Lair, Llanowar Elves. Yes, a very Asian theme to go with me as being a Legend of Five Rings player. I love my Kamigawa sets. So guess what? This one's going in my elf deck because I'm a big fan. I love it. It's a beautiful card. It's great artwork. On top of that, it is only just a little bit pringly. Not too bad. Not too bad. I had a lot of fun looking at these cards. Can't wait to upgrade my my latest sets of Commander decks. Of course, yeah, keep an eye out for my future Commanders series. They are going to be a lot of work to produce, but they are going to be a lot of fun to watch. They will be a little bit different than the kinds of decks that you're going to find online because they will have my own personal spin on them. And before I put them up, I will test them thoroughly at my weekly Commander games at my local game store. So, hey, if you guys are looking to play Commander, go out there to your local game store and play them as much as you can because, you know, that's fun. That's what the game is all about. It's not just about collecting. So get out there, have some fun, and until next time, keep them rolling.
And thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please take the time to like the video and subscribe if you'd like to stay updated. Have a great day and keep them rolling.